The scene opens with the familiar sound of the bailiff. All rise. Judge Vanda B. enters the courtroom with authority. Her reputation precedes her, firm, fair, and never afraid to speak her mind. Today's case, Morris versus Adams, already carries the weight of broken promises and future uncertainty. As the judge calls the case into session, everyone takes their seat, but the tension remains standing tall.
What's going on?
Well, I come to you today, Your Honor, because I'm trying to get my child support reduction.
Okay, all right. Based on what? Like, what's going on?
Well, I currently pay $880 a month for child support.
Okay.
I also pay $362 for health insurance. And I see my kids every maybe like 4 times a week.
Okay.
I see them pretty often, and she's trying to take my kids and move off to Florida.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I'm not going for that.
All right. Did she tell you why she was trying to move to Florida?
Because she just want to live her best life.
She said that?
That's what it is. She want to go to the beach, drink coconut balls or whatever they have out there in Florida, and just have her best life.
Okay, wait a minute. So did she actually tell you that, or you interpreting her as living her best life?
Your Honor, why would anybody else want to move to Florida? That's Paradise City.
Well, I mean, I kind of want to move too, but I can't go.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I got to work. So could it be for a job?
You know, Your Honor, I haven't asked, because when she told me that she wanted to move.
Mr. Morris begins his plea. He explains he's paying $880 a month in child support, plus another $360 for health insurance. On top of that, he sees his children regularly, almost 4 times a week, he claims. Yet he wants a reduction. Why? Because the children's mother, Ms. Adams, plans to move them to Florida. To him, this is more than a financial issue. It's about losing his bond with his kids.
Moved to Florida, I got so upset about the fact of losing my kids that I was like, are you moving to Florida for like vacation time, or just so you can live your best life, or because we in Texas, I'm in Texas. I'm a good dad.
So what did she say to that when you said, are you trying to move to Florida to live your best life?
She said, yo, you shouldn't have messed up.
What did you do?
It's a long story, Your Honor. I could tell you how we split up, but I kind of messed up.
Well, I have time. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. I didn't even realize you had gum in your mouth till you start smiling. You know, I don't allow gum chewing in here.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Oh, it's okay. You can just put it to your back of your throat.
Yes,
I'm not going to tell you to swallow it. I don't think that's really healthy.
Yes, ma'am.
But I have time for the story when you're...
The judge questions him carefully. Why is Ms. Adams moving? Morris, visibly frustrated, says she wants to live her best life. To him, it's about beaches, coconuts, and fun, not responsibility. But the judge isn't satisfied with assumptions. She asks directly, did she really say that? Or is this his own conclusion? Morris admits he never asked if it was for a job. Fear of losing his children blinded him to everything else.
Ready, after you.
It's to the back right now, Your Honor. No more chewing for me.
Okay.
So,
continue.
long story short, I met this lady our freshman year of college.
Okay.
And we were in class, and she was sitting in the front, I was sitting in the back. And I saw her, and I said, man, I'm gonna have to put my bid in as soon as class is over.
Bid, that's what they call it these
yeah,
days. Okay.
we call it put your bid in. Because
All right.
I'm sure there's other people that put their bid in too. So if I got the highest bid, of course I'm a getter, you know.
Oh, so you subcontracting these things now?
I was, yeah. At that time I was subcontracting, you know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Right.
Keep going.
So I saw her in the hall, and I came to her, and my bid won. And we was together for years, Your Honor. We were together for years. We have 2 kids. We have a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Okay.
Throughout the time, and as life just went on, we just started kind of fading, Your Honor. I'm a coach. I'm a football coach at a college.
Okay.
And
The story shifts into the past. Morris recounts meeting Ms. Adams in college, a young romance that grew into a family. 2 children were born, Robert and Madison. But then came temptation. He admits, as a football coach, he was pursued by another. A cheerleading coach put in her bid. He resisted at first, but eventually gave in. His voice drops as he confesses, I messed up. The courtroom feels the weight of his honesty, but also the damage his choices left behind.
one of the cheerleading coaches kept hitting on me, and I kept rejecting her.
So you put a bid on her too?
She put the bid on me, Your Honor. Oh. Yeah, she put the bid on me. So I gave in to that bid. She had a high bid, And at the time, my lady, she wasn't putting in no more bids on me. She wasn't cooking me dinner. She wasn't massaging me like she used to. She wouldn't even let me watch sports on Sundays, Your Honor, because she wanted to watch The Bachelor. So it just wasn't working. And I gave in to what was going on, and I messed up. She saw my phone. She saw that I was with her a few times, and she left me, Your Honor.
Okay.
She left me.
That was a very colorful story. It's very interesting. I hear the word bid. I think about someone, you know, trying to do construction on my home. So it's just interesting hearing you use that term referring to relationships. Okay, so.
Judge Vanda listens intently. His language about bids and relationships draws laughter for a moment, but behind the humor is truth. His choices fractured a family. Morris argues that despite mistakes, he is still a present father. He insists he deserves fairness. He loves his kids, he pays more than most, and he wants relief. His tone is desperate, almost pleading, as he tries to win the court's understanding.
You don't want her to move to Florida.
No, ma'am.
All right? And you want your child support reduced as a result if she does move? Or
Well,
do you just want it reduced just because?
I just want it reduced just because.
Okay, got it.
I feel like I know dudes that don't see their kids ever and they not on child support. I see my kids multiple times through the week and I'm paying $880 a month.
Okay. Fair enough. I believe I have majority of what I needed. Okay, is there anything else you wanted me to know before I move over to her?
No, that's about it, Your Honor. That's
Okay.
about it.
All right. All right. Ma'am, and give me your last name.
It's Adams with
Ad-
2 D's.
Adams with 2 D's. Okay. All right. Mrs. Adams or Miss Adams.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Adams. So tell me about, so this story that he told, he actually, you know, you won the bid or he won the bid.
Well, I think that tells you everything you need to know about his.
Now Ms. Adams speaks. Calm but sharp, she dismantles Morris's words. To her, his entire approach to relationships feels transactional, like a business deal. She notes that while he spoke of numbers and payments, he didn't even say their children's names. She says them proudly, Robert and Madison. For her, Florida is not about beaches or pleasure. It's about opportunity. She has accepted a position as a marine biologist, a dream job that will shape her future and theirs.
His view of relationships is very transactional.
Oh, yeah. That's the word I was looking for. That's it. Transactional.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
very much I do this and you do that, and I think the fact that he didn't even bother to mention our children's names should tell you everything about our relationship.
Well, he told me the ages.
Yeah, well, that's great. Robert and Madison, that's with a Y.
But she ain't asked for the kid.
Okay, yeah, I get
oh.
it. Anyway, so going back to, evidently I'm just going to Florida for a permanent vacation. I'm actually going for a job.
All right.
So what's that job?
Robert, and I'm gonna be a marine biologist.
That's a good
when,
job.
when this dream come apart? Because you ain't had this dream when we met.
See, exactly. Do you ever listen?
Miss Adams, Miss
sorry.
Adams, I need you to talk directly to me.
She explains the reality of raising children. It isn't about weekend visits or FaceTime calls. It's the late-night fevers, the school runs, the endless bills. She argues that Morris sees only the cost, but not the true value of support. The cost of living in Florida will rise: rent, food, and insurance. She insists his payments aren't extras, but essentials for survival. The courtroom shifts. For the first time, the children's day-to-day life comes into sharp focus.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Morris, I've given you an opportunity to speak. Let me hear what she has to say.
You're right,
and
Judge, I'm
people
sorry.
can change dreams. I mean, depending on how long you guys have been apart, a lot could have changed in her life.
It's just she taking my kids, Judge. It's
Okay,
just-
well, let's hear what she has to say.
You're right, you're right.
She said marine biologist, right?
Yes.
That sounds like a really good job, and I want to hear about it. See how much money she makes.
She
all
just
right?
having random dreams, Judge, but it's all
Okay,
good.
that's great, but I need to see how much money she's making.
Right.
Okay?
I'm sorry.
All
Your Honor.
right.
Yeah, less talking, more listening.
And you do the same thing. All right, now, continue.
Jesus.
So I'm taking the kids to Florida because I have a greater job opportunity.
Okay.
And, you know, it's so interesting to me that he says that he sees the kids 4 times a week. I guess he's talking about maybe a FaceTime call or seeing them on his phone screen, because I certainly don't see him picking.
The judge interrupts with precision. She asks the key question: is child support paying for the children or for lifestyle upgrades? Ms. Adams responds firmly. With a son and daughter, she needs a 3-bedroom home. Separate rooms are essential. Organic food, vegan meals, and rising grocery bills already push her to the edge. Every dollar, she says, is for the children. But then, a revelation: the move to Florida isn't just a plan. It's already in motion.
Up the kids and taking them to the doctor and cleaning up vomit in the middle of the night. So it's great that he thinks that that he's paying for the right to see his kids, and that there are people who don't pay child support and who see their kids a whole lot. Judge, that tells you everything you need to know about the transactional nature of relationships to Mr. Morris. So look, the fact of the matter is, I guess he doesn't realize that his children are going to need to eat, whether they live in Texas or they live in Florida. And
That's true.
And they're going to need new tennis shoes and new clothes. And I guess he just thinks that money goes on trees, or that kids just eat for free. It's not how it works. This isn't TGI Fridays. So
Gasps ripple through the courtroom. Ms. Adams admits she's accepted the job and secured housing in Florida. The judge freezes the moment. Has she filed to modify the custody order? Ms. Adams hesitates. No, she has not. She believed the move was allowed because Morris relocated just outside the county line. Her belief came from internet searches, not legal advice. The judge leans in, sharp and unyielding. You can't just move.
cost of living is going to be higher in Florida.
All right, what are we looking at?
So my rent is going up from $2,000 a month to $2,800 a month.
Okay.
Because I have to have a 3-bedroom because Robert and Madison need their own bedrooms. And of course, I have to pay for flood insurance and other things like that.
Okay. All right. And you mentioned food.
Yeah. So the kids eat organic.
Okay.
And they're vegan. And so my grocery bill for them is already close to $800 a month.
Okay.
So his opinion that $880 is too much for the kids is wrong. It is a wrong opinion because your children deserve the nutrition they need to grow up big and healthy and strong.
The silence is deafening. The judge reminds everyone that custody orders are law, not suggestions. Moving children across state lines without permission is a violation. Ms. Adams lowers her gaze, realizing the gravity of her actions. Morris shifts in his seat, a mix of relief and vindication on his face. For the first time in this hearing, the balance begins to tilt.
Strong so they can be college athletes like you want them to.
Okay, so Miss Adams, you said that your rent is going up $800.
Yeah.
You have to pay flood insurance. The children's diet, they eat organic food and they're vegan. Okay, so are you using the child support for flood insurance and rent too, or are you using it to feed the kids? I just want to make sure I'm clear on what it is that you're saying in regards to his request to get a reduction.
Yes, Your Honor. So the thing is that if I was living in a 1-bedroom because I was by myself, my rent would be a lot lower.
All right.
But I have to get a 3-bedroom because I have a boy and a girl, and I don't want them sleeping in the same bedroom.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I have to get a 3-bedroom, and so it's not just that. It's my electric bill. It's cell phones because our 5-year-old has a cell phone.
The judge speaks firmly. If Ms. Adams moves to Florida, Morris will lose access to his children. That is not fair. And so the ruling begins to form. The judge declares, if Ms. Adams relocates, Morris will no longer pay child support. His $880 obligation will end immediately. Instead, he must continue paying health insurance. The $880, the judge says, should be used for travel so he can see his children in Florida.
Phone. So now I have to make sure that we've got her a phone line so you can talk to her dad so he can see her 4 times a week on FaceTime.
So about that, he said that he sees the children now 4 times a week, and you're saying that's not true, except for like a FaceTime video or something like that.
He sees the kids on an inconsistent basis.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Okay. So when you say inconsistent, right now, do you all operate under a standard order where it's like first, third, and fifth?
He has every weekend, and I have during the week.
Okay, so every weekend he has.
Right.
Okay. During that every weekend, it's inconsistent, is what you're saying?
I mean, it's just all over the place. He just comes and goes and sees the kids whenever is convenient to him, or maybe his girlfriend like turns him down for a date or whatever.
Okay, so that was petty.
What girlfriend you talking about?
We didn't have to go there.
Ms. Adams reacts instantly. What if he doesn't visit? What if he pockets the money and leaves her to struggle alone? The judge remains calm but firm. If Morris fails to consistently travel and exercise visitation for 6 consecutive months, Adams can return to court and request support again. The courtroom shifts once more. The ruling is not one-sided. It demands accountability from both parents.
We didn't have to go there. So is that what the issue is? Like, you're still mad at him about that story that he told?
Well, okay, so he put in a bid for an upgrade, or the upgrade put in a bid for him or whatever, and now I have to explain to our son why our family fell apart.
Oh. So it's some hurt feelings there. Okay, I understand. So, have you already moved to Florida, or is this something that you're intending on doing pretty soon?
Well, I took the job offer and I've already found an
So
apartment.
the answer is yes. You pretty much already...
Everything but the U-Haul, Your Honor.
Okay. So in your court order, do you have a geographic restriction because Dad lives here?
Yes, but he moved just outside of Ellis County, so he's just outside of the geographic restriction, so it's technically lifted, Your Honor.
Okay.
The judge turns back to Morris. His relief is visible, but the judge's warning is clear. The responsibility is now his. The $880 isn't freedom, it's fuel for commitment. If he chooses not to spend it on his children, he risks losing in the long run. The message is unmistakable. Being a father requires more than love. It requires action.
And technically is what you said, but is that what your court order says?
Well, the court order says Dallas and contiguous counties, and he moved like a mile on the other side of the Ellis County line.
Okay, and I do have a copy of your court order here, and it doesn't mention that it's automatically lifted.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking it was the one that...
O is right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
O
Thank
is
you.
right.
I'm sorry.
O is right, because you can't just leave. You can't just do that. You actually have to ask permission to modify this order like he did.
Well, can I modify the order to move to Florida?
Did you file anything for today?
I mean,
It's a yes or no.
No.
Okay. So you're moving.
Ms. Adams tries once more to explain. She insists she misunderstood the order, believing the restriction lifted when Morris moved. The judge interrupts sharply. Google is not a lawyer. Her words cut through the air. She reminds Adams that only the court can authorize a move. The courtroom feels the sting of the truth. Sometimes ignorance is not innocence.
Without asking the court, can you move? And Dad is still living here.
Well, I guess I just didn't understand the way the order was written, because I had heard that if he moved outside of where it said, then I could move out.
Who did you hear that from? Did you Google? You did one of those Google searches? One of the Google lawyers told you that?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, okay. Because they told you wrong, and that's the problem with Googling everything. You should have actually consulted with an attorney who would have interpreted this order properly to you. You can't just move. So let me tell you what we're going to do, because I think this is the fair thing to do. Regardless to whether you say his visits are inconsistent, he say they're consistent, the reality of it is when you move to Florida, he can no longer have access to those kids. So even if he were coming this day, and
The children's future hangs in balance. Ms. Adams envisions better schools, a stable career, and fresh opportunities in Florida. Morris envisions distance, missed games, and lost hugs. The judge balances these visions, but her ruling is rooted in fairness. Both parents must carry weight, but neither will control the other unfairly. The law, not emotion, will guide the outcome.
Did every weekend, he won't be able to do that anymore now that you are going to move to Florida. So what I'm not going to touch is your custody arrangement. Not going to touch that at all. This is a child support court. That has nothing to do with us, okay? So I'm not going to touch it at all. You are free to move to Florida. However, he's coming off child support. So then he can use the money, the $880 or so that he would give you for child support. He can use that to travel to actually see the kids.
But what if he doesn't, Your Honor?
Well, if he doesn't, then after some time of him not doing it consistently, and when I say consistently and consecutively, it needs to at least be about 6 months or something like that, right? Then you can come back and let me know, Judge, he's not exercising regularly. I need some support for these 2 kids, right? But absent anything like that, I believe that's in the best interest of the children, and quite frankly, that's fair. You're moving without permission.
The decision is finalized. Custody arrangements remain untouched. Health insurance continues. Child support ends today. The ruling shocks both parents. Relief for one, challenge for the other. But the judge makes it clear. Her courtroom is about the children, not adult grievances. This case is not about revenge, not about broken trust, but about what's best for Robert and Madison.
Right? Which is a violation of your court order, so it's only fair that he stops paying child support. So beyond a reduction, he's coming off child support today. Now, you will have to keep maintaining the health insurance, okay?
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right, so that, what is it, $362?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll still continue to pay the health insurance, but there will be no child support paid from him to you. Hopefully you guys can come to an agreement.
That's the plan, Your Honor. Once we leave, I plan on giving her a call so we could try to talk about things and kind of get on a good level with each other.
Yeah, I think that can work. And who knows, your job may transfer up here and you may end up being back in Dallas anyway. Now, if that happens, you all would need to come back, because then we need to look at something different about what child support is going to be. But until then, you know, enjoy Florida.
The courtroom softens slightly. Morris vows to call Adams once they leave court, hoping to rebuild communication. The judge encourages them both, reminding them that future changes, like job transfers or relocations back to Dallas, may alter the arrangements again. But for now, the path is set. The children deserve stability, and the court will protect that stability.